Yes, good afternoon. This is another episode of your darling program, Truetalk Show, with Adebisi, Seyi Emmanuel. And of course, I have a wonderful guest. It's not an unusual guest. I have a regular guest in the studio. It's no other person but the man himself, Simon Idoko. And I also have another wonderful guest in the studio. It's a troublesome person. Today we're going to be talking about something related to the post-election that we just held just recently in Nigeria, the presidential election. Precisely, a lot of issues have been going on. Thank God there wasn't violence, but some people are of the opinion that the election is not free and fair. So, sir, before we go into the program proper, I just want you to just do another introduction of your name. So,
yeah, my name is Simon Sangod, as you earlier said, and presently this is a continuation of the program Truetalk Show, where we talk about things that concerns us as a nation. So that's just that. All right,
sir. Yes, can you just tell us your name?
Well, good day, everyone. My name is Marcus Adbeniga, popularly known as M Black.
Okay.
So the main reason why we are here is to, deliberate about the ongoing election and especially the counting and everything about the election.
All right. Thank you very, very much, sir. There are a lot of issue that is going on today. Some of the opinion that the election is not really free and fair, that it was rigged. What is your take concerning that, sir?
If you ask me about the election, precisely myself, from what I've been seeing before the election, there is a particular presidential candidate that we often hear his name on the social media, in the mouths of the youth, everybody.
Okay.
This man will win the election. I'm not calling anybody's name, but we all know the person I'm talking about. Before the election, they said this person will rule well, this person will rule well. Let's vote for this person, let's vote for this person. And the name is just like a song in the mouth of the citizen of Nigeria. But when the election starts going on, when they start counting votes, I am surprised to see that same name I've been hearing is going back in the count. Why the name the citizen of the country have not been calling is the one going. So I don't know. I'm not a witch, neither am I a soothsayer, but I believe that the name that people often call, that the people have in heart to vote in, is not winning the election. But the name that people are not singing, people are not talking about, is winning. So I don't know why reverse is the case, but actually whosoever that rules the country, we pray for the person to rule it with the fear of God and to the favor of the citizens.
All right, so just of recent on radio.
Sorry. Before you leave that part,
okay.
Sorry, I'm going to start from your last statement that the person that is going to rule the nation will pray. Why is it that in this country we love putting everything on God's neck? There's some particular things that you don't need to involve God. Actually, God really need to involve, but at some point, this thing. Let me ask you a question now. Is the ongoing election and the counting? Let me now ask you: is your vote being counted?
Precisely, if you ask me if my vote is being counted, I'm not the INEC, but I know from what they did, and they said it is a free and fair election, has never been seen in the history of Nigeria that this election was okay. I saw it being okay, but the counting, I cannot vouch that it was okay. And at the same time, I cannot kick against it because I don't have any proof at hand.
Yes, of course.
All right. The thing is, just of recently on the radio, it was stated that about 32 to 33 million youth got their PVC in order to vote one of the presidential candidates, Peter Obi of Labour Party, to be precise. Now, an election is not won on social media. Now, you talk about somebody, whom his praises has been sing, all along, and of course, when it comes to the real thing, is not, getting the desired result. I just want to put it to you that Nigerian politics is a kind of a dynamic politics. Sir, don't you think, I'm giving this question to you, that these people who turn to follow the popular praise singer, they didn't come out en masse to vote for the election? What do you think?
No, I oppose that. That the youth that they are supporting, the particular people that have been mentioned on the social media, which is Peter Obi, like, youth come out massively this election that we just had. Youth come out, although there's some particular youth that they don't want to go and vote. But I want you to know that the youth really come out this election to vote. Like, I was really surprised, for the fact that this party won a state, and this state is one of the popular states in Nigeria. Sorry, Lagos State.
But it's not just one state that determines if you win an election.
Before we go for it, excuse, let me come into this. In Nigeria, there are major states in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Like the federal capital, Abuja, Lagos, Kano, Ibadan. Now we are talking about Lagos as the heart of Nigeria. To me, if you ask me, Lagos is the heart of Nigeria. That somebody won in Lagos and lose in other states, is it possible?
Well, if we look at the margin through which Peter Obi won in Lagos, it was just a very thin line.
How come is that possible?
Well,
wait, let me. Of course, at this point I would like to say something here. Of course, we all know that this the opposition party, the popular opposition party, is fit in this position. Let me analyze this thing for you. Babatunde Ahmed Tinubu,
okay,
is really fit for this position. Adebisi, he came out around 8 years ago that he wanted to vote as president. People like me, I'm going to support him because
what makes you think that Ahmed Tinubu is fit for?
That's what I want to say now. He has the mentality of politics. In this, in politics in Nigeria, Ahmed Tinubu is one of the most great men that people so much respect in politics in Nigeria. Now, let me give you one instance.
Okay.
The moment when Ahmed Tinubu was the governor of Lagos, you remember that Obasanjo seized his allocation, Lagos state allocation, for 3 years, and he run the state with the money within the state. That's the moment when I realized that Ahmed Tinubu is fit. But what I'm saying now is that the reason why I'm opposing him is that it has got to a stage, like the age, if you look at what is going on social media, is the age, the everything that is saying is not really.
Age does not really matter when it comes to politics. If you look at Biden,
when you say age does not matter,
how old?
No, let's talk about
how old is Joe Biden in America. So I don't really think
that's
age.
American. You don't of course. Why is it that Tinubu don't bring support? Bring a you that all my whole support will be on you.
Look, the Constitution of Nigeria stated that each person, in as much as you are 18 years and above, you have the right to vote and be voted for. So this has to do with interest. If I said I want to come out tomorrow to vote, I have the right, to vote.
Let me come.
Okay.
Do you know that in every job upon the face of the earth, there are restrictions of age? When you get to any job,
not in Nigeria,
it's not in politics, it's not in any constitution.
I've not landed.
Okay.
If you are joining the Nigerian army, there is an age bracket. The Air Force, there is an age bracket, and there is amount of years you serve. I
think there's something we are missing. Politics is not really a job. I think we just have to get this clear.
So long as you are leading,
it's not a profession.
So long as you are leading the people, the obligation is being put upon you.
Yes.
It is a job because they are paying him.
What? Yes, they are paying him.
Now let's come. There is a strength in which you become a president because you carry the burdens of the country upon your shoulder.
But we need experience in this matter.
We need experience.
Experience is not all about age or.
No. I disagree with your opinion when it comes to experience.
Let me ask you.
There are some people that are in a village for 80 years. They have not left that village. Do you want to tell me that they have the experience?
No, you can see when we're talking about experience comes with your exposure, what you have achieved per time.
Do you know that I can have exposure more than you that is more than and 2 times my age.
I understand. But on this issue now, we discovered that youth has or have energy, and sometimes when youth are not being, tame. Let me just use that word, tame. If we are not being controlled, we turn to misbehave, and that's why we need the wisdom of the elders to go. I am of the opinion that youth should rule this country, but when it comes to this, I think that we really need an experienced person.
Let me make something clear. Sorry.
Who do you think in this election? Who have you been thinking that the people are supporting massively, individually?
We all know that is Peter Obi.
Sir, excuse, I'm coming.
Wait.
Sir, who do you have in mind all this while they have been doing rally that the people in Nigeria have in
For
mind?
somebody to have over 6 billion people, 1 billion people in a campaign.
Now, I'm not going to say I have Peter Obi or Tinubu or Atiku or Kwakwanso in mind. I'm a Nigerian. These people, they have the right to exercise, as a candidate of each party. So now this is a fair game. You have a right to choose Peter Obi. You have the right to choose who's your candidate again.
I'm not saying
Peter Obi.
You still have the right to choose Peter Obi.
I actually did not go for the voting.
Okay.
I did not go for the
part of
voting.
people that they are.
No, I understand. He can vote. He can vote.
That's one of the things that is affecting us in Nigeria.
Because he can vote. On the day of voting, I was in the field. Trying to cover some press release.
Things that restrict one from voting, I will not say it here because we are on the social. But now I'm still telling you this, that I'm not on the side of Peter Obi or any other presidential candidate. To be precise, this is just a true talk. We are talking based on what is happening.
Okay.
So now, I'm not saying Tinubu is to win the election or Peter Obi. I'm just saying what I've been hearing from the background and how it is. If you ask me of my personal opinion, I would tell you. But I'm not saying Peter Obi is to win the election or the election was rigged. But what I'm saying is the facts, how it happened from the grassroots and how it is right now. I don't know if you're getting my point. Whether the election came the way it was supposed to be, whether it was rigged or not, or Peter Obi was supposed to win, or Tinubu was supposed to win, or who won. But what is in the mind of the people, how the people did their rally campaign, and what the people were voicing out from the beginning, from the scratch, and how the counting came out to be, that the person that they have been singing about turns to go back to the backside. That's what I'm saying.
Nigeria is the only place. Sorry, okay. Nigeria is the only place that some politicians have seen corruption as normal thing. Nigeria is the only place whereby a politician will corrupt, we commit a sin, and the government will overlook it.
I don't know what you were insinuating with that, because
the reason why I'm saying this is that when we read election rigging, we stop in Nigeria.
We are not saying this.
Do you want to tell me that this election that we just conclude, there's no rigging in it?
Well,
I don't know about that.
Hello.
The reason why this thing leaked out is that masses that support Peter Obi, they are all social media, they are on the social media, and see, of course, one of the things that is actually affecting us in Nigeria is that there's youth that they are shouting Peter Obi. Some of them don't come out to vote, but seriously, the youth actually came out to vote.
Even INEC can attest that in the history of Nigeria, there have never been a time that they have a record that the masses came out
on Twitter. The Nigeria election is the most discussion for the past 2 weeks.
All right. And
you are telling me now that for the fact that something moved massively on social media, how come we not come to the real world and it won't work well? I was surprised when I was seeing when in a particular state, Labour Party has over 1 million votes. Where did they read one? Where did they count at the 1 million?
Now, when I was placed, with the situation before the election, we know the situation in Nigeria, that it could cause chaos, and everybody were like being afraid, because of the naira scarcity, fuel scarcity, and other vices also. Now this election is seen by most analysts as one of the most peaceful election.
No.
You know,
That fact cannot be disputed. That the election is as peaceful as we have never recorded in the history of Nigeria.
But in some sentence, in some polling unit, the election is not as peaceful. As
no.
All right,
if
now,
you compare it to the previous elections,
yeah, of course, you know. But now, see, I'm not talking about the peaceful election or not. Okay, if not that the rigging in this election is too much, why will Dino Melaye and Dele Momodu, rise up and stand even at the counting center and the INEC headquarters in Abuja? That they are like saying, okay, this thing is very obvious.
No, this is a party thing. Dino has the right to speak for his own candidate, which is Atiku. It has been something that has been happened from the inception of Nigerian politics. You still see people in the previous election in 2015, I think so. We see this man, I can't recall his name again, who stood out massively fighting. Thank you. He stood out massively, and he did more than that. This is what we are used to in Nigeria, to dramatize. Now, this issue is something that we need to analyze and give to the outer world. Election that has just come and gone is very, very peaceful, no doubt about that. Yes. We're gonna come back shortly. Let's go on this commercial break.
Are you creative and talented? Do you have a dream to be the next music star? Are you a presenter looking for a platform to air your program? Lions Finger Record got you covered. We produce, promote, and package artists for global recognition. We also manage artists, shoot music videos, movies, comedy skits, documentary, and also mentor young artists. For more information, please call +234 7030 80008. You can also message us on same number. Follow us on Facebook at The LLs, on Instagram Lions Finger Record. Subscribe to our YouTube channels at Lions Finger Record. Lions Finger TV.
You're welcome back. This is True Talk Show with your anchor Adebisi, Seyi Emmanuel, and of course we are bringing things that excite you, things that educate you, things that inform you on day-to-day activities that happen in our nation, Nigeria. We bring about different issues, talk about relationship, talk about politics, religious, and all that. But here we are here to say nothing but the truth. So we are here on another section also. Now, sir, we have been talking about the presidential election. We can exhaust this in a month. In fact, this election is something that even the international community, they were interested. They are much interested.
I even saw you.
I have a friend. I have a friend in the United States.
Okay.
Who told me 4 days ago to be precise, that he saw in the news that Nigerian presidential election, they were fighting each other. So I was wondering that the news I've not heard here. Yeah. It has given them an impression over there that it is being said on the news.
This bit of a thing has made people know more about people that they are not on social media. This is the first election that we have that will trend on social media.
You go to the social media, you start seeing informations, the good, the bad.
But the issue is that the one of the major cause that I see in this election that we just heard is that people are voting through with tribalism. People are voting with tribalism wise. Like, for example, let me give you an example. I have a particular mother that, okay, who are you to vote for? The person said that, okay, I'm going to vote for this so person. But on the day of the election, when the woman gets confused of what people are saying, that Yoruba, I heard from another person that from the person, she was from East. Like Peter B is from our own local government. So I noticed that people are voting with the tribalism.
I disagree with you. Do you know why I disagree with you?
Why?
Some days back before the election, on Saturday to be precise, I called my father. My father said they are in the
polling unit.
So I now asked him that who is he voting for? He now said he's voting for APC. I now asked him, Please tell me your reason. Why do you want to vote for APC? Do you know the candidate? He said, is he not that Yoruba man? My father cannot even actually tell me the name of the Yoruba man. Why? Being that the local government where we are from, the local government chairman and the senators there are APC, and they have now brainwashed them. Not they are not voting with their own.
Some people vote for APC because of life threatening.
They are, my father was not actually voting.
I'm not going to this. We have to be mindful of what we say on air. That word brainwash. I don't really think. If I come and market my candidate to you, I market my candidate to you
in a responsible way.
No, you see,
no.
My father had to listen to the man, the local government chairman, because he knows him personally.
Good.
Now he listened to him because he knows him, but the person he is voting for is somebody he don't know. They should allow us do our biddings the way we want it.
I think this is a matter of choice.
No, I was not. I don't actually.
Sorry.
I don't actually have issue with voting for APC or Tinubu, as my father said. But I just wanted to know the reason why he was voting for him, to know how it is. Now he said he is voting for him because of the local government chairman told them to
vote.
Now, does he have his own free will to vote?
I think I have to make mention of this. This has actually been a burden to me. I don't know if any INEC official is hearing this. That I think, Nigeria is an advanced country. Nigeria has got to a level whereby we can be doing this voting electronic. There's something.
That's what they did now.
No. I see paper. See how they use.
Yes, we with the information.
You can vote with your voter's card from your home, from your phone.
We are not ripe. We are not ripe for that. We are not ripe for that. With the information we had that the machine, the Bovers machine for the election was still malfunctioning. We see that Nigerian when it comes to tech,
30 years ago,
when it comes to tech, we are still we're growing.
Sorry. Anyway, if it is assumed that the machine is malfunctioning, why is it that they did not postpone the election and they still want to announce?
And of course, that will give those who want to rig this election time to think and to execute what they want to do.
So long as they do the right thing, it is not my problem.
INEC was given a certain amount of money, 300 billion naira. What did they use the 300 billion to do?
That's not my problem.
The machine is malfunctioning.
This thing, you and I know this. We have never been fully prepared.
Nigeria is full of corruption.
Yeah, no. When you talk about
something need to be done about it.
That's what we're doing. If you ask me, I would say this election or the emergence of Peter Obi, coming as a strong opposition to the current opposition party. If you ask me, my opinion, I stand to be corrected, that this will enable whoever become the president of this nation to want to sit and be effective. Why?
There are 2 points.
Do you know why I said that? Excuse me, please. Do you know why I said that? Because everybody will know that this time around it's not business as usual. Yes, whether Peter Obi, whether Tinubu, whether Atiku emerge as the president of this nation, of course, which we will be knowing shortly from now, I want to believe that these candidates, or whoever candidate that emerge, want to do better, because we all have been clamoring and praying for a new Nigeria. I think, if you ask me, that the emergence of Peter Obi is to cause every other candidate to sit up, knowing that it's not the Nigerian that you can just impose people on it. You see that this election has generated a lot of controversy.
Now, let me tell you something. My greatest fear here is this: when this election does not go as expected, there is a specific party which I will not want to mention the name, but I'm having a kind of feeling that they have been pushing towards something, maybe the Eastern and say Biafra or stuff like that. And now if they do not get this and they feel that they are being cheated, they are being deprived from power to rule, and now after the election they put up a different character, it is we the masses that will suffer it. I'm not saying they are going to put up any character, but from observation, the reason why they have been doing all these years, we want freedom, it is because of these are one of the reasons. And now they have come out, and according to them, it is what they merit. They are supposed to get it, and they are not getting it. My greatest fear is if they feel cheated, we might suffer a kind of.
No, I am not really agreeing to that.
Well, we'll go for a short commercial break. We will go for a short commercial break, and then we'll come back. We'll talk about the governorship election. Just. Welcome back to the show. We've been talking about the election that we just held, the presidential election that we just held just recently. Let's talk about the governorship election. We've seen some of the flaws in the presidential election, the bogus machine and all that. Some of the machines are not really working. There are some lapses in some areas. Now, I think, what do you expect the INEC to do when it comes to the governorship election? I'm throwing that question to you first.
Well, I pray, I pray the INEC should work with, but I think we should just start from this. There's some people that they are afraid to vote in this coming election because of insecurity. What's the assurance that there will be enough security in this governorship election? Because I could see some set of some party people that they are like, we take this team by fire by force. But
when we talk about security, in every election, the Nigerian police deployed almost 400,000 security personnel, as if we are going for war. I think there's never been a tighter security in Nigeria when it comes to that. In terms of security, there's always security personnel at hand to
Let me tell you, in Nigeria, even if you bring the whole personnel, army, air force, navy, and you keep them here, when the masses want to misbehave, they will still misbehave. And there are restrictions, there are law guiding the law enforcement agencies. They have restrictions. There are kind of exhibitions the masses will do. If they don't have arms and ammunition, they are just protesting. You don't have any option than to maybe dispatch the crowd, or you leave there, because you cannot hurt them except there is an higher authority.
Do you see a peaceful election in the governorship election?
What I'm saying in this election is more similar to what is happening now, because Oyo State election is going to be more like, okay, Tinubu, Peter Obi, and Atiku, which is Seyi Emmanuel, Teslim Folani, then
Adedibu,
Pentele. See, when I tried to watch their debate, the last concluded debate that they had some weeks ago, that Adebisi is not in the debate. If you look at what happened between Seyi Emmanuel and Teslim Folani, it is very obvious that this coming election in Oyo State, because me personally, sorry to say this, I'm not going to vote that day.
Why?
Because I'm not assured of the security.
And of course, there's always been assurance from the security personnel. Now, I think the presidential election has given us a clue what the governorship election will look like. Now, this is just your own fear. And of course, it can happen to anybody. So, what's your take concerning the governorship election?
Precisely the governorship election. If the presidential election does not go well as expected, or I do not see it the way I want it, I will not bother myself going for the governorship election, because I feel like personally that any party that win the presidential election, the gubernatorial election, my personal view will
saying the right thing,
favor that same party. That's why you see in the local government, if you are in PDP or you are in Labour Party, you are in APC, they will always push people to vote for that same party of theirs. so that if they win from the up, so will it come down to the vine.
Why can't we Nigeria just decided to go on change?
If let's assume now, if PDP wins the presidential election, or APC win the presidential election, or Labour Party win the presidential election, believe you me, all the states in Nigeria, the people that will win the gubernatorial elections is gonna be the same party. It's just few states that is going to, we are going to have an exemption of such stuff.
To me, the electoral process in Nigeria
do you know that
changing.
Do you know that in this life we come from down and go up. We don't come from up down.
Sure.
Starting from the presidential election, it is a kind of power that have imposed that if the president is there, everybody now will want to favor that.
All right, let's quickly talk about the naira scarcity before we leave the program today. The presidential election has come and gone, and of course we are waiting for the governorship election. Do you think we are seeing a circulation of naira in
President, as I'm seated down here, I went out to get food for my kids. I could not buy, I could not withdraw. I have the money, but I cannot access money. I'm hungry. Seated down here now, I'm kind of hungry, but the way to get that same cash is a problem to me.
You know what I'm thinking is, Nigerian people, I would like to say this word. Nigerian people, we are not always used to change. We love staying in a position. Why did I say this? Changes can come in a very difficult way.
Are you saying the naira redesign as a change? Is it a positive change for Nigeria?
Actually, to me, the naira not changing is a positive, change
How?
for Nigeria.
How?
But we misuse this in one way or another. Now, for instance, it has been it gets a particular state in Australia that they spend electronic money and Bitcoin. This is an advantage for us and for Central Bank of Nigeria to monitor people that they are doing frauding. Like, for instance, I believe every marketers, every people that they are working should get a bank by this time. Imagine now, since when is now?
Sorry to cut you short. In Nigeria, they say one step at a time. One step at a time.
I made mention of something that.
Wait, if they want to change the naira note, they would have done it in a way. Not that the way they did it, saying it's not good. But you see, the way it's affecting the masses, I've not seen any good way it has contributed to my life.
I'm surprised when I see this. This is not the first time Nigeria is going to change naira note. So I was really, it's like the negative part of this changing is that the Emefiele and Central Bank of Nigeria has not get enough naira notes for people to spend before they restrict a date that we must not spend the old naira note. Actually, they changed 100 naira note, they changed 50 naira those paper money, and it did not affect. The reason why I feel maybe they change this money is because of the politicians that have stocked money inside their house so that the money will not be useful. But then it did not work well because those politicians that have stocked money in their house, the bank manager, they will go and meet the bank manager. For instance, if I have old naira note now, like 5 million old naira notes in my room, if I go and meet a particular bank manager, like, okay, please change this money for me, I will give you 2 million. That's one of the negative parts. But seriously, taking new step every day, bringing change to whatever you are doing, it makes it. You didn't believe that since when Nigeria has changed this naira note, some businesses has improved by getting their own POS machine. Some businesses has improved by opening. Imagine some women will say, I want to buy something. The woman say, I do not have bank account. That day I pursued the woman. Okay, let me show you this particular bank app. I downloaded the app for her. She opened the app. Since that day, she has been said she's not concerned. Anytime she want to go and buy a big market, she will have to transfer. I think working with an electronic money, dealing with electronic money will make you have the record of what you are doing. Will make every business have record. People won't just be spending money lavishly.
What you are saying is actually the right thing to do, cashless policy. But there's always a say that we should do the right thing at the right time. Now look at the election is at hand, which they just finished, and changing of currency, all of them came at the same time.
Even
Now
fuel.
you see now fuel has issue at the same time. There's no way only you can be riding 3 cars at a time. The masses are running helter skelter for fuel issue. They are still suffering, and you are restricting them from getting cash.
All right. I think we have to have this debate another day, for our time is fast spent. So you're welcome to the program once again. This is your darling program, True Talk Show, with Adebisi, Seyi Emmanuel, and of course I have wonderful guests in the house. Of course, experience in the matter of the nation. We're trying to see how we can, bring sanity to what is happening in Nigeria, the change we deserve. I think we are gradually getting it. Like my one of my guests here talk about change, which I so much admire. I think we'll walk in that direction. But whenever you are introducing change is something that comes with a lot of price. So we should be mindful, with how we introduce this change, in order not to break other sector of the economy, because we are trying to bring sanity to some certain sector. I think this is going to the economics and officials of the day. Till we meet you next week, same station. We still remain LF Radio TV. You can reach us on YouTube. We have our social media handle, Facebook, Instagram, and of course you see them scrolling on the screen. And also our contact, if you have your advert placement, you won't have anything to do with us. We do a lot of things. You see them displayed on your stream, on the streaming. I still remain your anchor, Adebisi Seyi Emmanuel, on this very talk show, True Talk Show. Sir, once again, the final word.
For now, I would say in Nigeria, we should be careful, sensitive, and we should stay away from trouble.
Good, stay away from trouble. Sir, your final word.
I just want to advise everyone that in every area you find yourself, try to learn how to bring a new thing. Let's change.
Be creative.
Be creative and let's change. I believe Emefiele is kind of creative.
Oh.
It's creative by bringing change.
Wow,
So
wow.
Bring a change.
Emefiele, the creator, we admire you. We admire you. We'll meet you next week. Don't go away.